Okay, here we go again, part 2. Okay, so my surgery, April 26th. I don't even think I told what I had. Crazy. I had VSG sleeve. I had it in Nashville, Tennessee with Dr. Brandon Williams. I had it at Vanderbilt Medical Center. And the nurses and the doctor, everybody was great. So this is part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1, you need to, because I'm not going to go through all that again. Anyway, surgery. So that first night, nobody really got any sleep. My husband stayed with me, and my parents and my brother and his wife went back to their room. So nobody really got any sleep. I was kind of up and down, and then they bring me the medicine. I'd get sick again. Good times. And the next day, I was still in quite a bit of pain, and I kept getting upset, and I beat myself up over and over again because I'd watched so many videos and watched so many blogs, and everybody just acted like they just went home on Tylenol. They didn't have any pain. And I know everybody's pain tolerance is different. I feel like I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I've had 2 kidney stones in the last couple of years. And so, I mean, I know pain. But it whooped my butt. And I think I was honestly more upset because it was painful. I mean, it probably wasn't the worst pain ever. But I was more upset that I kept watching these videos and people being like, oh, it was a walk in the park. And I want to tell you, it's not a walk in the park. And I don't want anybody to watch these videos and go home or beat themselves up like I did. My dad's a nurse, and he just kept saying, Sarah, you've had major surgery. You have had your muscle, they have ripped into your tummy and ripped your stomach out. He's like, it's major surgery. I particularly hurt on my right side, which is where I had the biggest incision. I had 6 incisions. And then one was fairly large and immediately bruised. I do have pictures, or a picture of that in the hospital. If somebody's interested, you're welcome to email me, and I'll be glad to send you that tummy picture if you've got questions. I don't really want to show it on the World Wide Web. But my scars look great now, and you can't tell. So after surgery, I mean, the next day, the next morning, I was in the hospital for a while, and then eventually I didn't have to do a leak test. They did that while I was under anesthesia, during the surgery. So the next day I could start having some liquids, and you can just have the little cupful, I think 3 cupfuls, little medicine cupfuls, every, I can't remember what it was, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, every 30 minutes. I don't remember. See, this is why I should have made this earlier, because I can't remember everything. And that was pretty rough, at first. Honestly, it was really weird. Water was weird going down. And for the first couple weeks, and I'm a water drinker. I never have been a huge soda drinker. Now, since I've wanted a soda since surgery, but I'm not a huge soda drinker. I'm a water girl, and water for the first couple weeks was hard for me to get down. I mean, anything feels weird. But it's almost like your tummy's flip-flopping. I don't know how to describe it. I think my dad or my husband, one, made the comment that it was my tummy was probably spasming when things were going down in it. And that may be what it is, but it was so weird. Like, I did not like that feeling initially. And initially, I know that everybody's trying to push the protein, get the protein in, but it's more about staying hydrated, and that's what I focused on. So I keep skipping around. So anyways, next day, we're in the hospital. They give me some drink, get some broth. About 5 o'clock at night, I think, they finally discharged me. And again, we had the trek home, which was 3.5 hours. And we did just drive straight home. That's not true. We stopped and I got out and walked. So the ride home was rough. And about halfway home, my family gave me some pain medication when we got out to walk. And apparently I sang gospel songs the rest of the way home. So I must have gotten better. I mean, I remember, but apparently I sang and sang and sang and sang, which I do anyways. So if you know me, you're cracking up because I'm a singer. And I sang gospel songs the rest of the way home. And I had my little body pillow wrapped around my tummy. The ride home was rough. And then after we got home, I slept in the recliner for the first 2 weeks. Well, longer than that, 3. And something else I kept watching on videos, people were back in their regular beds, after two, you know, after they were come home from the hospital, they lay down in their regular bed. Guys, there's no way I could have done that. I still needed help to get up and down out of a chair for the first 3 or 4 days, maybe longer than that. I finally was frustrated enough that I just decided I was going to do it on my own, and was like, I don't want help anymore. I have to learn to do this. I mean, I had to have help to get in and out, to get on the potty. My brother works for a medical rentals place, so I got like a potty chair where I didn't have to lean down as far. That helped a lot. But I really had to have help. And again, I really beat myself up over that because people just act like they came home and they were fine. Again, not in really any gas pain. It was all just stomach pain. I know it's major surgery. Look where that dog bit me. I know it's major surgery, but I just didn't. I had nothing else to compare it to except for these videos, and so I didn't know. So if you are considering having weight loss surgery of any kind, of course the only story I know is the vertical gastric sleeve. But I think that you need to be prepared to know. I mean, I wasn't dumb thinking there was going to be any pain, but I honestly I just thought I was going to be doing jumping jacks, I guess, the next day. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's being me naive. Maybe nobody else led me to believe that. Maybe that's just in my head. When I'm watching these videos, people are like, oh, I went back to work in 2 weeks. No. I was originally taking 2. And then before I left the hospital, they suggested I take 3. So after the 3rd week, I did go back to work. And let me tell you, that 4th week, I cried. When the 4th week after the first day I went back to work after my surgery, I am an early intervention teacher. So I work with little kids in the floor all day. I'm up and down out of the floor and doing all kinds of things. That first morning when I got to a kid's house and I sat down, I cried. It would hurt to get in the floor. I had practiced because I knew that I was going to have to maneuver my body in a different way, just, because I didn't want to rip anything open. I was scared. I was paranoid. I cried. I was not expecting it to be that bad. By the end of the 4th week, I felt better. And I have a friend, an acquaintance from that I know, and she had told me she had a gastric bypass. And I wish I'd talked to her before, because I didn't know until after I'd had surgery that she'd actually had surgery. She told me that by the 3rd week she's feeling better. By the end of the 4th week she felt great. And she went back to work on the 5th week. And so my suggestion to you guys is, if you, maybe if you have a desk job, you'll be fine. If you have any kind of job where you move around a lot, work with kids, not even with kids, if anything that's physically demanding of you at all, even getting in and out of a car for me was hard. And it could just be that my belly was so large. Maybe that's what it was. I would suggest to take 5 weeks. I think by the end of the 4.5, I was ready. I think I needed that 5th week to rest up. And then, I could have went back to work on week 6. What else? Because I don't have that much longer, just a couple minutes. They put those things on you in surgery, and then you wear them on and off until you get up or whatever, for blood clots. Freaked me out. I made sure those were on me every time I got up. We took them off, and then as soon as I got back in bed, we put those suckers back on my feet. My back stayed pretty sore, but again, I'm not a back sleeper, and I don't really like to just lay around. So that was difficult for me. I got up and walked as much as I could, and everybody, the nurses and everybody were like, I can't believe how much you're walking. But again, everybody all the videos you watch, everybody's like, walk, 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 walk. So I'm sure I'm leaving something out. But I just kind of wanted to tell people my story. 1, I want to journal it for myself, and I'm sure I've left tons of things out. And 2, I feel like I had a little bit of different experience than some. And again, I know everybody's pain tolerance is different. But I don't think you need to go into this thinking it's going to be hunky-dory. And I just kept asking about the gas pain because I didn't have any. And I kept saying, why don't I have gas pain? Why is it all, in my tummy? But again, it is major surgery, even laparoscopically. And they, cut your tummy open and cut your tummy out and pull it out of this hole. And I was sore. I had some good bruises for a while. That first night, I gotta hurry. That first night when we got home, my mom had to help me take a shower. And actually, she came and helped me take a shower for the first couple, nights. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Bye.